So you are merrily carrying on. Everything is going well. Life couldn't be better. And then wham, you get sideswiped by something unexpected. It's the human condition. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. Good things never last. We have a few cliches to describe this situation. There is a reason why this happens. And if you understand this, it will show you how to grow and up-level your life. Let's be real. You're either heading into a challenge, in a challenge, or coming out of a challenge. You might get a little break in between, but before you know it, you are dealing with another challenge. So what gives? Alpha, beta, new alpha, gamma loop. Never heard of them? Most people haven't, and they are why we find life to be such a crazy roller coaster. So stick with me and I will give you the keys to personal growth. This will be easier to explain if I take you through some life stages. An alpha stage is when you have diminished responsibility. Think about the day you finish school or college. Suddenly, you are free. You are old enough to do what you want. No rules to follow anymore. No exams to study for. No homework. Remember what that felt like? Man, alpha stages feel really, really good. The sky looks bluer, the air smells sweeter, and the future is so bright you gotta wear shades. But then, as sure as winter follows autumn, a beta stage comes along. You get your first job. Suddenly, you have to follow a schedule. You have to be on time, meet a work quota, serve the customers, figure a bunch of things out. Responsibility. It doesn't feel like an alpha stage, but this is life. You learn what you need to learn and soon you have it all figured out. That feeling of responsibility eases and you slip into a new alpha stage. Then with that paycheck, you decide to get your own place. An alpha stage. Happy days, but suddenly you are in a beta stage. Toothpaste costs money. Toilet paper doesn't magically appear. The place doesn't clean itself. And damn, things are expensive. You have to learn to budget. Responsibility. But you do, and once again, you are in an alpha stage. You got this. And so it goes. With every alpha stage comes a beta, and after every beta comes an alpha. Responsibility increases, and as you grow in mastery, it eases. You can apply this to everything. Get married, alpha, then a beta. Have a kid, alpha, then a beta. Each new phase brings with it its own unique existential crises, things you must learn, behaviors you must change. This is growth. That joy you feel, alpha. That discomfort you feel, beta. Solve the beta and enjoy a new alpha. Alpha stages are marked by a sense of decreased responsibility. This doesn't mean you have less responsibility, it means you have solved the problem and are coping nicely. A beta stage is marked by a sense of increased responsibility. Because you have entered a new phase of life, you have new things to learn and new problems to solve. Alpha, beta, new alpha, or gamma loop. Gamma loops, these are why so many people are struggling. These are why people get hooked on substances, marriages hit the rocks, and jobs get lost. It goes like this. You get a job or get married or have kids, and then all of a sudden there is all of this extra responsibility, all of these existential crises to solve. Doesn't feel good at all. So what a lot of people do, too many people, is that instead of rolling up their sleeves and getting stuck in, they return to the last place of diminished responsibility. You get a job, so you slack off and oversleep. You get married, so you act like you are still single, drinking and hanging out with all your friends. Or you have kids and let your partner do all the work. Think of any alpha stage and you can apply this. Increased responsibility makes you run back to the last place you had less responsibility. The big problem is that when you do this, it doesn't actually lessen the responsibility, it increases it. Instead of things to learn, Now you have big problems to solve that only get bigger. You lose your job, your marriage crumbles, your kids become unmanageable. Do these sound like problems to you? So instead of changing course, you retreat even more, and the problems get bigger. This is a gamma loop. They are downward spirals, circling the drain. Are you stuck in a gamma loop? There is only one way out. You have to stop and face your problems and work your way out. It will be hard, and there will be a lot of relationships to repair, and some that will be beyond repair. This is the destructive force of a gamma loop. If you are feeling stuck and life is just getting worse, you are in a gamma loop and you have work to do. So to summarize, an alpha stage is a feel-good stage where our capabilities are equal to our circumstances. Our sense of responsibility is diminished, but soon into this phase we enter a beta stage. There are existential crises to be solved, a learning curve to traverse, increased responsibility. If we do this successfully with the help of other people if necessary, we expand our capabilities to match our circumstances and move into a new alpha stage. If we fail to learn and instead reject the responsibility, we find ourselves in a gamma loop. Our problems will increase until we break out of it and get back on the track of learning and growing. You might need to listen to all of this again. Until you wrap your mind around it, it can be pretty confusing. Once you do understand it, you have in your hand the key to becoming the best version of you that you can possibly be. Alpha, beta, new alpha, or gamma loop. Thanks for joining me. If this has helped you, then like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. And I'll see you all in the next one.